Breaking news. Lil Woody take the stand today. They're gonna follow up where they left off. They had a lot of courtroom drama with a back and forth as far as if they could ask about Judge Glanville, if they could ask about, the prosecutors. They said anybody can be asked about other than Judge Glanville. It sounds to me like Judge Whitaker is protecting Judge Glanville. If Judge Glanville was in the back during the ex parte meeting, there's no reason why questioning Woody about what Judge Glanville did while he was in the meeting should not be allowed. But this video here that we're going to show is about immunity and how they can set you up when you work with the authorities. So sit back, enjoy the ride, and know what time it is. If you subscribed, hit the notification bell. If you're not subscribed, subscribe and hit the notification bell. That's all we're asking you today. Could we get this right, please? All right. All right, Unique Mecca Audio, man. We're going to talk about Lil Woody, this immunity to show you how you could be set up. And I'm going to give you a couple of different scenarios on how this could all backfire on Lil Woody that's having a time in his life. All right, now let's listen. Now, we're going to try and break this down to make clarity for y'all that's watching on what this blanket immunity is that we're dealing with. Hold on. Let's see who this is. Yo, what up?
Hey, big homie.
Yeah.
Mecca Audio.
Yeah.
You know this me, right?
Nah, who this, man? I'm recording right now just to let you know who this.
Okay, well, tell me when to call you back, man.
All right. I'll call you back when I'm done. All right, homie.
So when you want me to call you back?
I'll call you back, man. Or call me back, whatever. I'm doing the recording. Yeah. All right, so that's where we at. So now we're going to break down this immunity thing so you understand. He said there's a lot of confusion, and we're going to try and make clarity of this confusion. All right? In other words, the statute of limitation begins once they know who the perpetrator is that committed the crime that we're talking about when it started, which is the statute of limitation tolling, when it tolls forward, like paying a toll to go through a toll booth. So that's what he's talking about. You heard that? Now, Little Woody went up there talking about the barbershop shooting, all these other shooting. They got him real comfortable on the stand talking, and he's thinking that he's covered and he can never be prosecuted. You heard what they just said themselves. They just said that he could be prosecuted. You understand? I'm going to show you how they play these games and manipulate the system to catch us out there because we don't know any better, because we didn't study the law. We just studied getting the bag. And that's it. All right? Now, let's move forward. Now, how's she going to say that's not relevant if he could be charged? You know, in other words, that's not relevant to their agenda. Their agenda is to get his testimony and to get Young Thug convicted. That's their agenda. That's why she said that, you know, that has nothing to do with this. We don't care if he get charged. That's something he deals with later. That's what she's really saying, so you understand. All right? You heard that? Now they saying that for something that he wants to get on the stand and confess to. Pay attention to that. They said that he wants to get on the stand to confess to, but yet Judge Glanville held this ex parte hearing where he coerced, which meaning he forced them into taking the stand. But they're saying that, oh, he wanted to testify to the barbershop shooting. No, he wanted to testify to it after you forced him on the stand and told him that if he did, he can't be prosecuted and it can't be used against him in the court of law. But I'm going to explain to you how it can be used against him in the court of law in 1 minute. But just listen to this, how they playing this little word game, you know, and this is the word semantics that they use that us common folks don't understand, and this is where they get us. All right? You hear that now? She's switching it that they can't use it against him. Earlier, she said that he could be prosecuted. So this, listen, man make laws. That's the first thing I learned when I got locked up. That's why I knew I was coming home one day. Didn't know it was going to be to do YouTube, but I knew I was coming home. Man make laws and man changes laws. So the same way they made the law of the immunity is the same way they could change it, manipulate it, broaden it, and do all types of things with it that will wind up locking our people up. Period. Okay? So now let's move forward with this. You know he ain't trying to call Woody no devil and ain't got to drive through Atlanta and pull up at the courthouse. So let's just say that. Smart lawyer. You see what I'm saying? He's saying that they playing the word games with the immunity instead of just putting in the agreement, we will not prosecute you for anything you say. We will not prosecute you. They never said that. They used the word immunity so that they could play games and manipulate the meaning of the word immunity to make it fit where he's at. And later on, they could find a way to recharge Woody, and the lawyer is getting ready to explain that if he was the one that was handling Woody's case later on, this is what's getting ready to come up, that he would say, hold up, you told him whatever, whatever. Now listen to it, it's going to play out. I'm just trying to take my time so y'all get an understanding of what's going on, because little Woody's going to be cross-examined today, you know, is what they're saying, what they're expecting, you know, what their intentions are. And when he gets up there on the stand, from what I've seen on Little Woody on the videos that he's been doing, Little Woody is going to tell the truth. He's going to tell it like it is, what went on in that back room and how they forced him, how he didn't want to do it. And the only reason he's doing it is because they forced him to do it, not because he wanted to get on the stand and confess to crimes to free himself from future prosecution. That's not it. Woody's gonna let it be known, man. They twist my arm, they locked me up, they didn't feed me for a whole weekend. They threatened to keep me in jail till the trial is over or until the other 16 co-defendants is done. This trial is taking 18 months, going on 2 years already. So if you talk about 2 years for each trial, you talk about 32 years that they talk about keeping Woody in jail. And I know that sounds crazy to hear the 32 years, but imagine if each trial, you know, is severed and it takes 2 years apiece, you know what I mean? And it's 16 co-defendants, that's 32 years. Woody did the math. Where's the cheese? You know what I mean? That's how Woody came out. Now pay attention. You see that? He's saying that if he was representing Little Woody later and they tried to prosecute or indict him on the things that he's confessed to on the stand because they told him that he had immunity, which has a meaning within a statute, which is like in a box, and you can manipulate it any way to make it gumbo, to make it go towards you or the next person. It's just up to the person that's reviewing it, meaning, i.e., the judge, if he's going to take your side as the defense on what you're saying immunity mean, that he can never be prosecuted, or you're going to take the prosecutor's side and say, no, he can be prosecuted because he spoke about acts of violence. Because we know that, if he was to speak on the M charge, you know what I mean, like unearthing someone, that they could charge you with that at any time, and immunity do not cover that. But now they're going to play the game as if the immunity for violence, covered under this immunity. And I'm going to break something else down in a minute, give you all a treat. See, what he's saying, right? They did the same thing to Little Woody in this case as they did with Sammy the Bull. Let's ride. We ain't ride yet. Let's ride. Sammy the Bull had multiple murders, over 10 murders, had double-digit murders. They told him if you testified against John Gotti's equivalent to Young Thug now in Atlanta in 2024. So they told Sammy the Bull nothing would be used against you if you testify and get us John Gotti. The same way they told Little Woody nothing would be used against you if you testify and get us Young Thug. So that's where we at. So we fully understand what we're dealing with now. So now, here goes Little Woody going in there thinking that he got carte blanche to do whatever. Now, they're going to find a way to come back, and that's what this lawyer is saying, because he's seen the immunity and he sees loopholes in the immunity, and that's what he's speaking on, and that's why the judge even said on the record, yes, he can be prosecuted, and then switched it up to bring in the word immunity, and that's like, you talking about apples and somebody start talking about grapefruit. You know what I mean? Now you're talking about grapefruit and forgot that the topic was apples. So now they done got off the fact that the topic was, can Little Woody be prosecuted for the acts of violence and things of that nature that he's testifying to? That's it. You know what I mean? Now, instead of answering that, they said he got immunity. That's why the lawyer said out his own mouth, y'all can rewind it, I'm not going to rewind the tape. That's why I said out his own mouth that they can prosecute him. You understand? And the judge said yes. And then they went into immunity to get off of the prosecution part. All right? Just like John Gotti. Do you hear this? This is what he's saying. Now listen to how the judge is going to try and clarify that with her soothing words, to try and make sense of this, to try and manipulate it in order to move forward, because she knows the cameras is in the courtroom. Listen to the judge's response on this. You already heard her say earlier that he can be prosecuted. So now let's pay attention. You see how she playing games? They didn't give him free reign to do things he haven't done yet. So she's holding on to that. Like if he's saying that if he get prosecuted later, oh, they can't get him for things he haven't done yet. So when he walk out the courtroom, whatever he do, we can still lock him up for it. But no, he's speaking on what he confessed to doing during the course of this scheme and conspiracy, which led to a RICO against Jeffrey Williams fighting for his life. So these are the games they playing. Oh, we didn't give him free reign to go commit crimes he didn't commit. That has nothing to do with it. You know what that man is saying. Stop it, Judge Whitaker. You see, now she's saying that you could explore why he's testifying. In other words, about being coerced in the back, what she already said before, early in the tape, that, before this one, that you could explore anything except for Judge Glanville. You understand? So now they're saying that they can bring up why he's testifying, because that's the whole point. Why you testifying? So if you testifying for the government, that means you have to testify in a manner that's favorable to the government. And you testifying in a manner that's favorable to the government is your interest here, not the interest of telling the truth. It's the interest of satisfying the government, who's promising to give you immunity, that they won't charge you and they'll release you and you could go back on YouTube and make the bag. But they're not going to let him get away with that. And I'm going to speak on that in a minute too. All right. You see, that's bullcrap. You know what I mean? That's bullcrap. We're not even going to do that. You know what I mean? Now, she's saying that it's not a trial about, the immunity, about Judge Glanville and what Judge Glanville did and none of that. It's about a trial of whether they committed the crime. But they committed a violation, which is equivalent to a crime, when they took Lil Woody in the back to to put the press on him to testify when he pled the fifth, is how it all began. And today they're going to explore whether they was right or wrong, and we're not stupid, so we're not going for anything that go on. Now, let's play a little Brian Steele here for a minute, see what he's talking about. This was about Brian Steele argues Lil Woody's immunity order during the trial. You heard this before, pay attention. All right, so we got that. They don't use a barbershop shooting. Just let me show you how this play out. Now, what they could do with Lil Woody, right? So y'all understand. I rewind that for a reason. Is that even though, you know, they don't prosecute him for the things he said on the stand, they could turn around and make a conspiracy, right? And come up with a conspiracy of a whole different trial, a whole different set of circumstances. Charge Woody with just one thing in that indictment: conspiracy to violate the RICO law, the drug law, whatever. And once they charge him with that one conspiracy, now they could use all his other acts that happened during the course of the time of the conspiracy as what they call overt acts. Overt acts are things that furthered the means and the motion of the scheme, of the violation, of the conspiracy, of the RICO. Those are overt acts. The jury do not have to bring back a verdict on the overt acts. The overt acts are just there to show prior misconduct. So now let's ride. Let's ride. Now picture Lil Woody, right? Picture Lil Woody getting a new indictment and he's just charged with conspiracy to be down with whoever else they want to bring in after Young Thug is acquitted. You know, we're going to put it in the universe. After Young Thug is acquitted, now they bring a new indictment because they're not going to let Woody go. Woody, they're not going to let you go. You made a mockery of them worldwide. You're a man in America and you just disrupted the whole judicial system. You got everyone looking at Fulton County like a bunch of clowns. You even said that the detective had a squirrel brain, that he was easy to manipulate, that he was stupid. Do you think that man is sleeping at night knowing that his co-workers, the world, the community, his children heard you get on the stand and said he got a squirrel brain and he's easy to manipulate? He's not going to forget that. So what they're going to do, right? We're going to do a couple of rides. So what their options to do now is, right? Because they got to get you, Woody. That's how they looking at, oh, we got to get back at this dude here. He done blew the trial up, made a mockery of us, you know what I mean? And we done kept him out of jail all this time thinking he was going to work with us. So what they're going to do, right, Woody, so you understand, one of the ways they're going to come at you. If someone in Fulton County or anywhere, right, especially Fulton County, if they say, oh, Little Woody, sold drugs here on this date on time. Lil Woody shot this person on this date and time, but you didn't mention that at the trial. That means that the immunity does not cover what you didn't mention at the trial. That's cut and dry and clear. The immunity covers what you testified to. So if there's crimes that you have done that other people know about, other rat bastards know about, so you understand, right? Now, if other rat bastards know what you've done and they tell the prosecution what you have done, the prosecution could use those statements, those crimes that the rat bastards told them about you to recharge you because that wasn't a part of the immunity agreement. Or they call it immunity. Starts with an I am, so you understand. IMMUNITY. And they try to say unity, UNITY. Don't that sound funny? You know what I mean? In unity. Think about that. Now, so Woody, you think you're in the clear, you think you're doing good. You are doing good for the moment. But these people play longevity. Let me give you one. I'm going to take you on a ride. This is how dirty they play. When I got locked up, we had a lawyer, right, that was on my case. And she was a black female lawyer. I paid for a, big-time lawyer, Jamaican out of, New York, came down to Virginia, so we had to get somebody to work with him, what they call pro havoc. We had to get a lawyer that was licensed in Virginia to be on the case, for my lawyer to be able to speak in the courtroom and be a part of the case because he wasn't licensed in Virginia. So we just went and got a little rinky-dink, lawyer down there. He came in, he sat in when the trial started, and they started going back and forth. My lawyer eating them up. So one of my child's mother got on the stand, and they made her get on the stand. Same thing did with Lil Woody. She didn't want to testify. So they asked her, how did you, because they said that, I was sending her large sums of money, right? Now, my child's mother. So they said, how did you, meet Unique, And what was the money for that he was sending you? Was that drug money that you were sending him and he was sending back to you that goes to his brother, Khalif, She said, no, I met Unique at the local 7-Eleven. I dug him, so I effed him. And we had a kid, and he's been an excellent father. He sends me plenty of money for the kids, for the child, and that's what that is. So now they get mad. They did the same thing like they did with Little Woody, and they gave her what they labeled her an hostile witness. You know what I mean? All because she said that she met me at the 7-Eleven, she dug me, she screwed me, and that's the end of the case. The money is for me screwing her and producing a child with her. They didn't like that answer. They wanted the answer to be that I was sending her the money for her to get to my brother to do this with drugs, or my brother gave her money to send to me. And she said, no, that was Unique's money. He sent it to me for the child. So now after they did that, the prosecutor actually said, pay attention to this ride, always stay on point. The prosecutor said that, oh, that child that you have down here in Virginia By the time he's 18 years old, we will have him in our prison system and bury him with time. Now, we're still riding. We're still riding. We're still riding. Now, check. That son that was 18 months at the time is now in the Virginia prison system serving 29 years for a carjacking that the victim that got carjacked said that it wasn't my son, said that the person that did it was about 6'1", 6'2", and had a big afro. My son was like 5'7", 5'8", short, dark skin, and had a low Caesar. But they still convicted him. So I had no choice but to just ride back to my trial when they said, when your son turned 18, we would lock him away. My son turned 18 12 years ago. And can you believe he's been in prison from he was 18, just like they promised, because they was mad at his mother for not lying and testifying in the manner that they wanted to? So what do you think they're gonna do with Lil Woody? Put it in the comments, let's hear it. I say they're gonna give a whole new indictment and they're gonna get him some new charges on whatever the new rat bastards coming in say about him. They're gonna wind up giving Woody new charges that ain't got nothing to do with what he testified to, nothing to do with what's in the RICO trial, dealing with Young Thug, or the immunity. And then that's fair game. Because Woody, you're not only testifying to the things you've done, because there's so much that you've done that you got away with because you're slick, as you're supposed to be. We all slick. We from the hood. We know how to manipulate things. So this is directly to you, Woody. So this is not to disrespect you, Woody. This is just to let you know that the feds are coming. And most of all, the state, they the ones that want your blood. But the feds is watching everything that's going on in this trial, and they're already putting together their own trial, and 90% of the things that's mentioned on this trial, you know what I mean, is going to be used as overt acts, and the other 10% would be used as actual charges for a whole new RICO indictment on, YSL. That's the way they play. Not wishing it on them, just telling you how they play, so when it falls into place, you know that Unique Mecca Audio already shared this with you. So now, right, you got that. If you subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you not subscribe and hit the notification bell. That's the key thing, and the Cash App is on the screen. Make sure you hit the icon on the Cash App, and it says that it was created in 2020. Instagram is on the screen. Now, if you're not going to send a Cash App, cool. But at least subscribe and hit the notification bell. And at least, if you're already subscribed, hit the notification bell. The notification bell and the subscription and the like, that's all free. If you like the content and you want to give towards, the betterment of the station so I can get better interviews and things like that in, just let me know. All right? Something ringing. Oh, that's the other joint. But that's where we at, man, All right, let me see. Who that's? Oh, that's my man, Pop. Yo, so that's where we at. Yo, hold up, son. I'm sitting here. I'm doing a video right now. I'm getting ready to hang up. I'm going to pick you up. We're going to come over here and do a video at my studio. Let me call you back in 5 minutes. All right, homie? All right, salute. All right, so that's where we at right now. We're doing this thing, and we're going to keep this 100 so that y'all know how this thing play out. All right, now, where we going to go with this, right? Where should we go with this? Now, don't forget, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Hit the notification bell if you already subscribed. All right?
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be whoring uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yours.